two eyes, two ears, and two nostrils.
Two legs.
No, I'll come to that. Two legs and two arms. Yes.
And 2 feet.
Yeah, and 10 toes and 10 fingers. Okay. Those are small details. The important, why do we have two eyes? Not one.
To see.
Okay, just imagine. If you had one eye, what will happen? Or if you have only one ear to hear, what will happen?
You'll be a monster.
No, not how you look. What will happen to you?
Scary.
Yeah.
You would hear lesser things.
You would hear lesser things, correct? Correct? And two eyes? Why you need two eyes?
To see.
To see more? What is that more that you see with two eyes as compared to one?
If you watch one eye,
You still see everything that you see with two eyes?
if you see no eyes,
Yeah.
if one gets destroyed, the other one. What happens if you see no eyes?
Say it again.
If one gets destroyed, the other one.
Okay, that's a backup plan.
What happens if you close? What happens if you pop to?
But just imagine, if you close one eye, you don't see what is here, right? You can see what is on this. If you close this eye, you don't see what is here. I can't see my finger. Now I can. Right? So two eyes help you to see
If you close.
more around you, not in the back.
If you lose two
And
eyes.
what else two eyes help you to
I
do?
can't.
Listen. Sometimes listen.
Now I can.
When I say listen, you listen, okay? Just listen. What else two eyes helps you do? Are you thinking about the answer, Jay? How does it help you to have two eyes?
No. I'm thinking.
Because two eyes tell you how far something is. Because you can focus, if it is focusing this way, which means something is here. My finger is here, so I'm focusing this way. To see you, I'm focusing this way. To see something further away, I'm focusing this way, and this point meets further away. So like if you're walking, if you're driving, if you're seeing the birds fly, you focus your eyes and your brain calculates math how far it is. Right? So you see more around you, up to here maybe, here also you can, and you can see how far something is. Same for the ears. If you close one, actually you hear from this side also, even if you close it. Actually you hear even more vibration. If you close one ear, close it and hum. Don't you hear it loud? Because the sound is coming from inside your throat. That's why you hear it more. But sound coming from that side, you hear much less. You still hear it. You know why? Because if you cover it, the sound that goes energy like this, it can go through your hand. Your hand cannot stop it. If you say something, I can hear even if I close both ears. I can hear less, but I still hear the tabla sound. Less, right? So the ears also help you to know where the sound is coming from. Is it from far? Is it nearby? Is it coming from this side or behind you? That's why you have 2 ears. And why do you have 2 nostrils in your nose? You got it free, right? Nature had given you a gift, lots of gifts. 2 eyes to know more, to see more, to see how far.
Yeah?
2 ears to hear more sound, how far the sound is coming from. Why 2 nose? 2 nostrils in the nose.
If you have no nostrils,
Why not 1?
you can't see.
Ah,
If you lost 2 nostrils,
because you have 2 lungs. 1 half here, 1 half here. And you have 2 sides of the brain. So when the breath coming from this side helps right side of the brain. And the air going from this side, especially the oxygen, helps to wake up this side of the brain. And the air goes into lungs. You see? So the point is, and then you can ask why you have 2 arms, 2 legs. Just imagine, with 1 leg, can you walk? Can you walk with 1 leg?
or you can hop.
You can hop, but you get tired very soon. You can fall. If you begin to fall, you cannot stop. The other leg helps you to stop from falling. Right? And you can walk. The toes help you to balance. Important. If you are going forward, it bends and helps you balance. Same for 2 arms. You can do more things with 2 arms. You can hold something and work on it. Right? And you got 5 fingers, so you can pick small things. If you have no fingers, just imagine. If you have no fingers, how will I pick up this? How will I write? How will I eat? You see? So you must always be thankful. Every day say, thank you, nature, for making me the way I am and for giving me all the things in my body and giving me good mind
But I have
to think and imagine and learn and plan something nice to do for everyone. Okay.
excuse me.
What is the second thing, second question? What is the second question? Remember, if you stop asking questions, you stop learning. If you stop asking questions, you stop learning. One day, if you know everything, that's fine. You stop asking questions because you know everything. But until then, ask questions. If you don't ask, then I'll ask. Last week, we learned 2 words. A few weeks ago, we learned 2 words. Knowledge and what's the second word? Opposite of that? Ignorance. Knowledge is what I know, right? Right? Ignorance is what I don't know. So, what is your job now to do? To know what you don't know right now. That is how you learn. You ask questions about what you don't know. But even more important is to keep checking what you know to make sure it is right. Why is that important? Why is it important to keep asking yourself what I know? Is it right? Is it true? Is it correct? Do you know an example where you knew something that was not right and you learned and you changed it, you corrected yourself? Give me one example where you knew something not right, not correct, and when you learn something right, so you change it or you forget what you knew which was not right. Think of one example. If not, then I'll give an example. For more than 1,000 years, people thought, not in India, but outside India, people thought that the earth is not moving and the sun is moving up in the morning and going down in the evening. That's how it looks like, right? That's how it looks like. But that's not correct.
That's not correct.
Sun doesn't go up and go down. In India, we knew thousands of years ago how far the sun is from the earth, how far the moon is from the earth, lots of things. But outside India, for 1,000 years, people thought that the earth, they don't see the earth moving, they don't feel it, and the sun is moving from this side east, going up and moving and then going down at night and then coming back up. So they thought the sun is going around the earth. And they thought that what they know. But that was not right, not correct.
But
So when they found out that actually the earth is going around like this and around the sun, then they knew that their knowledge is incorrect, not correct. So they changed it. So in your life, just think of something that you knew and you thought was correct, but you learned that it is not correct.
no, no,
And to correct wrong knowledge is as important is to find out new things to learn that you did not know. All right? Now I will give you an example. Well, there are many ways to learn. Right? We said you learn from reading good books. You learn from good teachers. You learn from what? Going to school. You learn by listening. All these things you learn. But very important is you learn by watching something very carefully and concentrate. That is a very good way of learning. Now I will give you an example and don't forget that example. How to learn just by watching. Samaya, listen. You remember the frog story? Everybody remember the frog story? Frog in the well, and the frog comes in from outside and they have a nice conversation. And then the frog in the well also goes out with him and he says, wow, that is a wonderful, big, new world with mountains and oceans and rivers and lots of other animals and trees and rain and flowers and everything. He said, I never knew it. I thought that inside the well is everything that is there to know. But the frog that dropped from outside, he was a different kind of frog. He knew a lot more. Now, if you want to become a frog, just imagine. If you want to become a frog, which frog you want to be? There are two frogs, right? One who always lived in the well and one who's lived outside. Which frog you will choose to become? Not really, but just imagine. Just imagine which frog you want to be. Jayvant, which frog you want to be?
The one in the wall or the one outside the wall?
There are two frogs we are talking about in the story. The frog that lived inside the well and the frog that lived outside the well. Which is the frog that you want to be?
Inside the well?
In the well?
Yeah. Which frog you want to be?
The one outside.
In the well.
Good. Which frog you want to be? Outside.
Outside.
Okay, outside. Which frog you want to be?
The frog in the well.
You want to be a frog in the well? Okay, good. Just think
I'm
again.
gonna tickle you.
See, frog in the well doesn't know anything about outside. He only knows this area like this, and there's a water, and he's going from this end to that, jumping and eating insects and drinking the water, and he said that's it. It's a very small thing he knows. But the frog outside knows about the whole world. He can see.
What is the frog outside the well? Right?
So you want to be the frog inside the well or outside the well?
Outside.
Okay. Everybody agrees? Grown-ups agree with that? You want to be frog outside the well? Okay. So, just by watching the story, learning from the story, you learn something. Nobody has to tell you. You learn that I want to be the frog outside, not the frog inside the well, right? Now, if you were to choose between the frog outside and a person like you, human being, which one you want to be? A frog outside the world or like a person like you? Wow.
A person.
Okay, wonderful. Jay, what do you want to be? Frog outside the well, which is better than the frog inside the world, inside the well,
I want to be.
or you want to be like what you are now?
I want to be a person.
Good. What do you want to be?
Person.
Person. Okay. What do you want to be? Everybody agree? Wow. You learned something nobody taught you. I want to be like this because I can know even more than the frog outside the world. Frog outside the world only knows that something is there, something is there, something is there. But you can know what is it.
When I was a
And you can also ask what it is made of. The frog outside the well does not ask what is this tree made of, how the tree grows. He does not know. He knows more than the frog inside the well, right? But what you can know, the frog outside the well will not know. You see? You know all the colors, you can know how big something is, you know how far it is, you can hear the music, you can hear the thunder, you can sing, you can read, you can go to different places, right? You can imagine. So, you just learned that being what you are is more important than the frog outside the well. Now, a little more, another story about frogs. See, I'm just trying to tell you how much you can learn from a frog. Okay, this is a true story. It really happened. A frog, there's a bucket of water. Okay, it's a pot. has water in it. And the frog jumps in the water. Just imagine this. Just imagine this. There is a pot of water on the stove where you cook, okay? And you put the frog in the water and he is very happy. He knows how to live in water. But when the stove is on and the water is hot, now imagine this. Jay, imagine this. Water is hot in the pot.
Right?
And you put the frog. What will the frog do?
Jump.
Immediately jump out. Because he knows how to jump out. And the water is hot. Right? He will jump out. Now.
Excuse, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you put a frog in the cold water, what will happen?
He will jump out.
Cold
That's
water.
what Samaya said.
Oh,
Cold water, he will jump out.
here's
In
the
ho-
bell.
In hot water,
That's the same thing.
no, sorry. In cold water, he may not jump out. If the water is too cold, he may jump out. But if water is okay, not cold, not hot, he will stay there. If the water is hot, he will jump out right away.
What if you put a
But now you listen. Now the story gets more interesting. Now you have the pot of water and you turn the heat on low. So slowly the water will get warmer and warmer, right? Then you put the frog in the water and water is very slowly getting more hot. Slowly water is getting hot because the heat is on the pot and the frog is in the water. When the water gets slowly warm and hot and very hot, the frog will stay in the water and in the end he will die.
why?
He will not jump out. This is what we found out.
Why?
Do you know why? What is happening to the frog?
Why? But
Why
in the
does he not
beginning, he
What is happening to the frog? Why he doesn't jump out?
He's getting used to the water.
Because he's getting used to a little bit warmer. He does not know the water is getting hot. And he does not imagine that if the water is very hot, it will hurt me. He doesn't know that. Water keeps getting hot and hot and hot, and the frog does not jump out, and in the end, the water is so hot that he dies.
He died?
He dies in hot water.
And then it's a rib?
So, what do you learn from this? What do you learn from this story? Water in the hot water.
I learned something.
What did you learn?
I learned that the frog
Frog did not know the water is getting hot.
getting hot.
Okay, why did he not know water is getting hot? Yeah,
He got used to the water before.
he got used to the water, and water is getting hot so slow. If it turns hot suddenly, right away, he knows water is hot, he'll jump out. But because it is getting hot very slowly, he is okay, he does not know, and he's finished.
He died?
Yeah. So, you learn something from the frog again, that if something is not right with you, but it's slowly getting worse and bad, you need to pay attention and solve the problem, correct the problem.
Yeah, it's a correct.
And I'll give you another big example. You remember that. You know, on the earth, listen, on the earth, thousands and thousands of years ago, there were very few people. Okay? And they used to live in the caves, and later they learned how to grow food. Listen very carefully. Very few people, not so many people. So they will grow food and they will live. Then they make animals their pets, and they use the animals to grow more food. Then they learn how to put fire, so they started learn how to cook food, and they discovered many new things. They discovered the printing press, so they can write language, read, write, made books. Then they discovered the wheel, that they can move something more easily. Then they discovered the engine, right? So they made the cars who run on engine and use the engine to go, and the train and the plane, everything. And they started burning oil that they take out from the ground. They go deep, they find gasoline. What gasoline does? They take it out, clean it, put in the car, and they burn it. Everything burning on gasoline. And the smoke from that goes in the air, more and more. And you breathe in dirty air. And we burn lots of other things. We burn trash. The trees get burned. You see, we throw trash in the water, in the river. Water gets dirty, we drink that water. Slowly, slowly, it started getting bad. And there are more earthquakes now. See, if you take a piece of paper like this, give me a sheet of paper. Give me this paper. This. Okay. Suppose this is the surface of the earth, round, right? And you make lot of holes in the paper. Lot of holes, thousands of holes. To put pipe inside the earth, take out oil and gas and diamond and gold and other stuff from the earth, sometimes even water to drink. Make lot of holes. Wouldn't this paper get more weak? It tear out, right? So people have made hundreds of thousands of holes on the earth to take stuff from out, take stuff out from inside the earth. So the surface of the earth becoming weak. So they start trembling. There's earthquake, there's volcano. You see? And all this stuff that we are burning, making the air hot. So there is more rain, more flood, more everything. Now all this happened over so many thousand years, so slowly. See, if everything went so bad all of a sudden, right? We say, oh, this is bad, we have to do something to take care of the earth and solve this problem. But because these things started getting slowly not good, then people don't even know. A lot of people got so used to, like the frog, got used to slowly heating the water. He got so used to, he didn't jump out. People got so used to dirty air, dirty water, dirty streets, dirty trash, dirty make holes in the earth. All these things was happening so slowly. It was like the frog in the hot water, that we did not do anything to solve the problem.
Oh, wait.
You see? So now remember this. The frog in that water, if you become that, then the whole planet is in trouble. The whole planet, your environment, your nature. If the soil is dirty, plants and fruits and vegetables and food doesn't
You
grow.
better leave.
Yeah.
And then
No, you cannot leave the earth. You have to correct
Oh.
your mistakes.
yeah, it's a big,
Yeah.
huge water.
Yeah.